It's week 3 of my Octoberfest challenge, and I got 3 more beers to review, and it starts right now. What's up, guys? Sergeant Suds here. As I said, week 3 of the Octoberfest challenge. Already tried 6 great Octoberfest beers. If you haven't seen those videos before, go ahead and I will have a card up here somewhere with a link for you to go and take a look at those. I'll also put the link in the description below. So, go ahead and catch up on those ones if you feel so inclined. So the 3 beers for today, I got 2 of them based in Texas. Got the Ranger Creek, that's based here in San Antonio. I got the Lober made by Pedernales Brewing Company out there in Fredericksburg. It's about an hour and a half outside San Antonio. And obviously the Left Hand based out of Colorado, a little better known, I would imagine, outside of Texas. But Ranger Creek has a great reputation. It's actually a brewery and a distillery based here in San Antonio. And the Lober Octoberfest Lober brand out of Pedernales has won several international beer competitions. The beer that I've tried before have all been amazing. So this one's shaping up to be a pretty good week. So let's go ahead and start with the Lober. So again, based out in the Texas Hill Country, just a little north here of San Antonio. And again, if you've seen the other 2 videos or if you're familiar with the Octoberfest style, we're seeing a pretty typical kind of visual here, of the sort of toasted coloration. The carbonation is relatively low considering how big the head on this is, and it's holding quite well. Yeah, again, the notes very malty. Not a whole lot else going on from a smell standpoint, but it looks like it's going to be a pretty interesting drink. So, great beer. What I like about it, it's not super thin. It has a little bit of weight to it with the Oktoberfest, Marzen style beers coming from the German heritage. You're expecting a little bit of weight to the body. It's very malt forward, a little bit of toasted malt flavor comes through, and then right at the end there, just a little kick of hops brings in the bitterness. I can understand why Lobo and Pedernales have such a great reputation. This is a really well put together beer. I wouldn't say there's anything overly shocking or untoward about it, but at the same time, they've taken the basics, what you would expect from a beer of this style, and they've done it really, really well. So no complaints in that regard. Alrighty, let's go to Colorado now and try out the Left Hand. I like the art on this one. I don't know if y'all can see it there, but the wolf looks pretty cool. Seems to be pretty synonymous with Oktoberfest by and large. Okay, so let's see what we get out of this. So it looks like it's a fair bit lighter than the Pedernales. Again, though, once it starts to kind of build on itself in the glass, it might look a little darker. Let's see. They look about the same. As you can see though, with the Left Hand, the carbonation again is quite low. Didn't really build a head at all on this one, and what it did build disappeared pretty much straight away. So this one's got a bit more of a hoppy smell to it. I wouldn't say that it's particularly hoppy in its aroma, but again, Marzen style beers, you're expecting malts, toasted malts to kind of be the primary smell. So getting a little bit of hop there is a little unusual, but probably won't be an issue whatsoever. So on this one, the body is a lot lighter. So I was talking with the Pedernales Lober, talking about having a nice thick body to it, being more sort of traditional when you think about Germany, Oktoberfest, German style beers. This one, it's got more of the texture of a lager, and it is quite malt forward again, as you would expect, and it does actually have a fair bit of hop in it. As this smell was coming through a little. All in all, though, it's a good beer. I mean, Oktoberfest is probably my favorite seasonal style of beer, and thus far I really haven't had one that I didn't like. So on that note, let's go ahead and try the Ranger Creek. So again, Ranger Creek, brewery and distillery based here in San Antonio, Texas. I've been meaning to make a trip out there one day. I hear it's a great facility to go visit. Okay. Okay, so the thing that I just caught my attention here on the can, this is described as a Vienna lager as opposed to a Marzen style beer, which is what you typically get for Oktoberfest. Consequently, what we're seeing is something that is quite a bit lighter in the color. The carbonation, I would say, is fairly medium. Didn't really build much of a head, and what it did have is completely gone at this point. I'm expecting this to be a lot lighter in both taste and flavor. Well, and I guess body as well. I guess, see how it goes. Oh wow. So it's lighter in the sense that it has a sort of thin body that you would expect of more of a lager than a Marzen, but it has very earthy, I would say, toasted malts about it. The earthiness, generally not my favorite thing ever, but it's not necessarily an issue in this regard. You know, if you are someone who prefers the sort of earthy brews, this would be a great one for you. Again, it's not a bad beer, it just wouldn't be my first preference necessarily. But, you know, it tastes good. Okay, so as normal, I'm going to go ahead and rank them from worst to first, and keep in mind, as I've been saying, there really hasn't been a bad beer of any of these batches, but as you may have guessed, and this is a personal preference thing, going to go third with the Ranger Creek. Number two, we're going to go ahead and put the Left Hand out of Colorado. And really, guys, I cannot recommend highly enough Lober by Pedernales. As I said, based in Fredericksburg in the Hill Country. I'm not sure what the distribution's like outside of Texas, but if you happen to be in Texas and you see that one in a store, in a restaurant, whatever, any of the Lober brands, whether it's the Oktoberfest or, you know, they have a Hefeweizen and a few other bits and pieces, I highly, highly recommend trying those beers. I've been absolutely blown away by each one that I've tried to this point. So there you go, guys. 3 more Oktoberfest brews down. There's more to come, though. You know, I'll be back next week with more Oktoberfest brews. So if you've enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. As I said, more Oktoberfest and general beer content coming your way in the near future. Until next time, cheers.